What's up, everybody? So I'm obviously going to do this video a little bit different than what I usually do because I'm actually recording this video at my daytime job. So hopefully I don't get interrupted, like a call on the radio or whatever. And hopefully I didn't lose too many of my prison story followers because I know a lot of you hate the paranormal stories for whatever reason, think it's a bunch of nonsense or whatever. But just want to say welcome back to my followers. And, if you're a new listener, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. If you enjoy the story, and feel free to watch, some of my other videos, whether you're into, the prison stories or the paranormal. I got plenty of both. So, anyway, like I said before in the past, I'm just going to mention there's going to be a donation link in the comments. It's strictly voluntary, so I don't want to hear anybody crying about, oh, why are you asking for money, man? Like I said before, I'm not trying to get rich off this channel, just trying to make a little bit of, spare change or whatever for gas. But anyway, this video is going to be a prison video, and it's going to be more stories about SMU1, Arizona DOC in Florence, Arizona. And this video is basically going to be about unlucky COs. So I'm going to get right to it because, my time is limited, like I said. So anyway, the first story is about a female CO. I don't remember her name, and I wouldn't say her real name anyway, but this female CO, for whatever reason, just had a lot of attitude and a big mouth, was always running her mouth at inmates. And, once again, SMU1 is a level 5, Supermax, is basically what it was. Or, the politically correct term is Special Management Unit, but we all, basically said it stood for Supermax. So, it's all like the worst of the worst, like hardcore prison gang members. And, a lot of the inmates are doing really long sentences, so they basically got nothing to lose. So, my philosophy was always treat them with respect because they ain't got nothing to lose, like I said. So, why get on their bad side if you don't need to, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, this female used to run her mouth a lot, and she picked this particular inmate one day to get smart with or whatever. And this inmate had actually warned her before, like, you better stop talking shit to me because I'm Hep C positive, So in my opinion, he was kind of giving her a courtesy, like letting her know, like, you don't want to piss me off because basically, I'm gonna throw in your face, and I don't care if I infect you, probably wanted to infect her or whatever. So I guess one day, she decided to run her mouth again to this inmate. And like I said, he had warned her before, and I guess they were arguing about something. I don't remember what it was, but right in the middle of her saying a word, he threw piss. It probably had feces mixed in with it too. The inmates would use like their empty shampoo bottles. They would mix the urine and feces in it, and then mostly they would just do it to the COs they hated, or some of them that were mentally disturbed would just do it to whoever they could get. But so he sprayed her in the face right in the middle of a sentence, right in the middle of a word, and it got in her eyes and in her mouth. Because in most of these pods, we would wear protective goggles, but they're not airtight, you know what I mean? So some of the inmates were smart. They would aim for the forehead, and then the stuff would run down into your eyes, you know what I mean? So the only thing I ever got sprayed with, I'll talk about it in another video. I got sprayed in the eyes with bleach by an Aryan Brotherhood inmate from Cali, but I'll talk about that in another video. So anyway, he sprayed her right in the face. She got urine, feces in her eyes, her mouth, everything. It was freaking horrible. She immediately, like, as soon as the smell hit her, she started to retch and vomit and stuff. And the other CO was like, just get out of the pod, so they got her out of the pod. And So immediately she had to be started on. There was like these pills that they would like if you ever got bodily fluids in your eyes or your mouth, that you would have to take these pills. Like if that inmate was positive for anything like HIV or Hep C or any of the hepatitis, I think. And these pills, I think you had to take them for like maybe 3 to 6 months. And supposedly they made you like violently ill. Like, they had like really bad side effects, but it would, supposedly keep you from getting whatever the inmate had. I don't know. But, so anyway, she had to be started right away on these meds. And yeah, she ended up resigning. She never came back after that. And I don't know if she ended up with Hep C or not, but, she had to learn a lesson the hard way. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, the next story is a male CO that I didn't really know him before this happened, and actually he was the one that told me about this because he had a big scar going down the side of his neck, and I was working with this dude one day in one of the control centers, and I just asked him like, hey man, what happened to your neck, dude? Like, if you don't mind me asking. And he told me that when he was kind of a rookie CO still, one day he was, I think he was either handing out commissary, which is like the inmate store, the stuff they order for themselves, like food and like hygiene stuff, or or maybe he was delivering the inmate's property. I think that's what it was. He was delivering the inmate's property, and the inmate was complaining that there was something missing from his property, like some earphones or something, like a Walkman or some bullshit like that. But to them, that's a huge deal, especially the ones that like are indigent or whatever, like have no money, like because they have no family or nothing like that. Um, and I guess the argument got pretty heated, and he said, he was getting frustrated with the inmates, so he was like, I don't fucking know what happened to it. Like, I don't have it, you know what I mean? So I don't know what to fucking tell you or whatever. So he said he didn't, he had no idea that the inmate had grabbed they used to make these little cutters. Like, they would take like the razor blades and they would take the toothbrushes, and even like after a while, they took away the long toothbrushes away from them, obviously because they were making weapons out of them. They would sharpen them. But they started giving them these tiny little toothbrushes that were like maybe about the length of like your finger, like your pointer finger. And even those, man, they would melt the end of it, and they would smush the little tiny razor blades from the shavers, like two or three of them onto the end of it. And believe it or not, that can do some serious damage with them two or three razor blades close together like that. Makes a pretty big gash. So this inmate, I guess to him, it was serious enough to where he decided, I'm going to get this fucking CO, because he was pissed off because he couldn't get his earphones or whatever, right? So he, he basically set the CO up. He told him, man, are you sure? Look in that fucking bag again. And because I think he had a bag with like, I don't know if he had like other property or other stuff in there, but he told him to check the bag again. And so while that CO made the mistake of bending down right in front of the food trap, and I'm sure most people know what a food trap is. It's a small opening at the front of the cell that you unlock with a big brass key. And any like lockdown unit, has those in the front of the cell. And you never bend down in front of it for the reason I'm about to tell you. So he bent down to grab the inmates or to check, double check for the inmates whatever Walkman. So when he bent down, the inmate reached through the food trap and gashed the side of his neck, and started yelling, at him like, "That's what you get, motherfucker," for not bringing my shit or whatever. I don't know what he was accusing him of, like losing it or giving it to somebody else or something. But so he grabbed his neck, and right away he called on the radio, medical emergency, officer, assaulted or whatever, and activated IMS, emergency system for the COs. And so he ran down the stairs because he was up on the top tier, which I would have probably ran too because you're panicking, right? But that made the blood pump even more. So by the time he got to the bottom of the stairs, he was about to pass out. So he said he like collapsed onto the bottom stairs, and he just waited there for medical. And as soon as they got there, they like put some towels and stuff on his neck, and they had him walk slowly to the medical unit, and they had to air vac him out of there. And it didn't cut the artery, or else he would have died. He got really lucky; it didn't cut the artery, but he had to get I think he had to get like about 45 or 48 stitches, something like that, like stitches on the inside and then stitches on the outside. And then it left him a big old ugly scar on the side of his neck, like starting from like the top of his jaw all the way down to like the bottom almost of the neck. But he survived. He has a nasty scar to show for it. And I'm sure it makes a good conversation piece, but no thanks. No thanks. So the last inmate, or I mean the last CO that I'm gonna talk about was this other CO. So I'm trying to decide if I'm gonna tell this story or not.